2020 meeting of the Executive Committee of the Regional Transportation Authority. I'm Gallatin Mayor Paige Brown. I'm also the Vice Chair for the Regional Transportation Authority. Mayor Hutto could not be with us this morning, so I will be leading this meeting, and hopefully I'll do it more smoothly than I did before. As I said, thank you for being here. I do need to read our now COVID infamous disclaimer that we all read at our meetings these days. This says, due to the outbreak of COVID-19 and the declaration of a state of emergency by Governor Bill Lee, we're holding this meeting without objection via video conference in order to conduct essential RTA board business while protecting the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans during this pandemic. This meeting will be held in accordance with Governor Lee's Executive Order number 60. So if there is no objection, we will proceed. Seeing none, I will move forward and call this meeting to order, and I will ask Ms. Rita Roberts Turner to please call the roll. I'll ask that you say present when your name is called.
My apologies. I believe we have the roll taken by Mrs. House.
Yes. Mayor Paige Brown.
Present. Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to call it?
Go ahead. I will continue.
Okay.
Ed Cole.
I'm present.
Mayor Ken Moore.
President
Mayor Ken Moore. Thank you. Mayor Jerry Kirkman. Mayor Bob Ryle. Mayor Bill Catron. Mayor Anthony Holt. I have noted that Bob Ryle is in attendance. He is in the attendees list.
And I promoted him.
Thank you. Ken Davis. And Kelly Dannenfelser.
Present.
Thank you. This concludes our roll call, and we do have a quorum.
Okay, and there are additional attendees that I'm going to ask that you note your presence when you call. Are you going to call their name, or should I do it?
Go ahead, Mayor Brown.
Steve Bland, CEO, is with us today, correct?
Present.
Ed Elifon is here as well. And we know Ms. Roberts Turner is here.
Okay.
And Monica House.
Present.
All right, perfect. So thank you. The next item on the agenda today is the approval of the minutes from the September 16th, 2020 Executive Committee meeting. If there's a motion to approve, I would welcome that.
So moved. Ken Moore.
Second, Kelly Dannenfelser.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Are there any additions or corrections to these minutes? With that, we will ask that all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 And if there is anyone opposed, I'm going to ask that you say nay and state your name, please. All right, thank you so much. The minutes are approved from the September 16th meeting. Next item is public comment to help provide this platform in an orderly and efficient manner. The public was given notice to submit a request to give public comment by 5 p.m. on October 20th, 2020. I'll ask Ms. House, do we have anyone who is desiring to enter a public comment at this time?
No, ma'am, we did not receive any one requesting to leave a public comment at this time. Mayor Paige Brown, I do have a hand on the floor, and I don't know if it's Mayor Bob just letting us know that he is present, but his hand is raised on the floor.
Okay. Mayor Ryle, did you wish to speak, or are you just saying hello to us all? You're still showing muted if you're wishing to speak. I'm gonna move forward then. Mayor Ryle, just can we chat on this platform if somebody needs to enter a comment? I guess not. But open your mic at some point. I'll keep an eye on that if you do wish to speak.
I got unmuted now. Let's see. Mr. Ryan. He's unmuted now.
There we go. Mayor Ryle is now unmuted if you wish to speak.
No, I'm trying to mute myself. It keeps unmuting. I apologize.
That's okay. Okay, I think we're good to move along. You guys stop me if we're not. I would ask you if you're not speaking, to mute your microphones because we're starting to get some feedback. I think we're good now. So the next item on our agenda, since there is no public comment, is the Finance Committee report, and I'm going to ask that Committee Chair Sumner County Mayor Anthony Holt to present that report. If he's with us, he may not be with us.
I email you the calling information, and you just email me back. All right, I'm gonna email you the calling information. You just call that number, and I'm gonna unmute. Okay. All right. Bye.
Mayor Brown, I'm on the line. This is Ed Oliphant. I can go ahead and give that report.
I think that would be just fine. Thank you.
Okay. All right. On page 7, you have the financials, and they're also on the screen. This is for the month of August 2020. It's our second month into the new year. I will remind the executive committee that we did do a budget based on full service, and that will become evident as I go through this explanation. As you can see, for the revenues, we actually did budget those to be reduced due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and you can see that we are running a little bit unfavorable for our bus revenues, but we are actually running favorable for train, which is good. As far as the other operating revenue items, we do have some rent abatement going on, so you see non-transportation revenue is a negative, and advertising as well. As far as the federal, state, local, and capital, you're seeing mostly negatives, but that is again because we are budget for full service, and we have been running reduced service since the beginning of the year. And you can see that as you look at the expenses about 2/3 of the way down. The $461,000 in the services category, that is basically again due to MTA and Gray Line running reduced services for RTA regional bus services. And then the train services, while we do have the full contract that we're paying for TSG, we're running favorable on track usage and fuel and those types of things, again, because we are in reduced services for the train as well. If you'll change to the next page, please. On page 8, we have the balance sheet. You can see about 2/3 of the way down. I always note on the first column, you see the note payable. We have a $400,000 out on the line of credit just for our cash flow purposes. And then the only other item would be the agings down at the bottom of the page. And you can see for transparency's sake, we do let the executive committee know as a part of that $42,000 that's in the accounts receivable, $21,000 of that is due from MTA. And on the accounts payable aging, of that 707, almost 708,000 in payables, we owe MTA about 274,000 as of the end of August. We have paid that. But unless there's any other questions, Mayor Brown, that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oliphant. Does anyone have any questions about the financials? I'm seeing Mayor Ryle with his hand still raised, but unless his microphone unmutes shortly, I will say that there are no questions. Okay, we're going to move forward to from the Finance Committee report to the Operations Committee report, and Committee Chair Mayor Jerry Kirkman. I'm not sure he's with us. I didn't hear him respond during the roll call, and I don't see his name on the list. But Mr. Bland, I bet you can help us with that if we need the help.
Yes, Madam Chair. Oh, Mayor Kirkman, you're on.
we're working on Mayor Kirkman getting in. He doesn't have internet access, so he's going to call in. We're giving him a call-in information.
Perfect. So you want me to move along to our CEO's report?
That would work for me, ma'am.
Okay, let's move on down to the CEO's report, and we will come back to Mayor Kirkman if he gets on the line with us. Mr. Bland, feel free to go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And appreciate everyone bearing with us with the technology. We guinea pig tested this with the MTA board last month, and it worked well. So we're a little better off than last time we tried it, and we'll keep working on progress. Just a few things I wanted to update the board on, largely on our capital project front. As Mr. Oliphant reported, we are still in a reduced service mode, so that essentially means we've cut the number of trips. All of our RTA routes, with the exception of the Rutherford County Express services, are operating, but we're operating reduced trips. We're operating one reduced trip on the train, and we are still operating Southeast Corridor local service. With respect to the capital projects, work on the Mount Juliet station is approaching completion. About the only things we have left, other than some punch list items, is striping of the lot, some fence installation, and our landscaping. So we should be wrapped up with that project within the next month. As much as the pandemic has hurt our ridership and our usage, it certainly has helped that project along, as the reduced use of the parking lot really allowed the contractor to move along much more quickly. Quite a bit has been going on with the new fare collection system project. The construction at all of the rail stations is largely complete, other than some cleanup items. All of our ticket vending machines and our platform validators are in stock, and we expect them to be installed over the next couple of weeks. We're currently recruiting beta testers to start testing the system on the MTA side of the system. We'll be doing that over the next few months. Then we'll be recruiting RTA beta testers, and the reason for that lag is because the RTA side relies much more heavily on the ticket vending machine equipment and the platform validators, that we wanted to push that back. All of our onboard equipment on both Gray Line and MTA buses for RTA service has been involved, and training has been initiated. So we're in pretty good spot to get that project really up and running during 2021. As I reported previously, all of our rehabilitated rail cars are in service on the STAR, and they're operating very well. We're getting positive feedback from customers. We just received back from the rebuilder in St. Louis our second locomotive. That will undergo testing by the railroad over the next couple of weeks. And once that testing has concluded successfully, we'll put it into service and then send off the third locomotive to be rebuilt out of the 4. So we're still on target to have that project done sometime next year. With respect to the RTA bus fleet, we expect to be back to the board either in November or December, probably more likely December, with a recommendation to acquire 10 more buses for the RTA bus fleet. Largely, these will replace buses in the Southeast Corridor that are operated by the MTA, but it will also enable us to replace some of the leased equipment in the Gray Line fleet, which will reduce our ongoing operating costs. And then the last item I have to report, Mayor Brown, is that we've continued conversations and meetings with the city of Murfreesboro to coordinate a potential park and ride lot in Murfreesboro, very well located adjacent to I-24, in conjunction with their new operating facility that they're constructing for the Rover system in Murfreesboro. So we'll continue to keep you updated as those projects materialize. And unless there are any questions, that concludes my report.
Sorry, I'd muted myself. Thank you, Mr. Bland. Are there any questions following his report?
Yes, this is Kenny Martin. I just want to thank everybody, and also thank Steve, of course, and his team for all the hard work. It's looking amazing out here in Mount Juliet.
Thank you, Kenny.
Exciting. I can't wait to see it. And I see that Mayor Kirkman is on the line with us now, so we will move back to the Operations Committee report for Mayor Kirkman to present our monthly operating statistics. You're still muted, Mayor Kirkman. Aha.
Okay, well, very good. Thank you. Rural internet is wonderful, isn't it? The operating statistics report for this month begins on page 10 of your agenda package. The report continues recent trends in terms of both ridership, which is still significantly down, and service reliability measures, which is trip completion and on-time performance. Both are at historic on-time services are high now. Very good. We have begun to see some small increases in RTA and ridership, both in August, but not on a large scale. So we anticipate continuing to operate at a continued reduced service level for the foreseeable future. You will note that we are reporting one accident for an RTA bus for August. It was minor. The vehicles just made minor contact with each other, very minor damage, and no injuries. Staff have begun to examine a variety of RTA bus service realignment options in various quarters for reconsideration as we emerge from the pandemic. And the operations committee is planning to have an operations meeting in November so we can begin to review these options. If there's no questions, that is my report, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Mayor Kirkman. Are there any questions? All right, with no questions, I see no one indicating they wish to speak. I will move along, and I do believe that we are concluded with our operations committee report, our CEO's report. That would leave us with a chair's report. I will just say that I really appreciate Mr. Bland's report. I know that in these times it's very difficult to stay motivated and energized, but it certainly seems like the Transportation Authority is doing just that. Please share my respect and appreciation for staying the course, because even though so much difficulty is being experienced at the moment, there still are lots of good things happening, and I think we're positioning ourselves well for the future. So we can look forward to brighter days together, and they shall come, and we will be better because of the work that's being done now. So thank you. If there's no other business, I'll give you a second to raise your hand or unmute yourself if you'd like to bring other business before this board. And I see no one. So with that, I will declare this meeting adjourned and look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Mayor
you.
Brown, appreciate it.